Sparta! Fatality.
It's a little bit of taps. Damn, I cannot hear myself in these headphones for some reason. For fuck's sake. A little bit of taps. Yeah, the last time I played taps, I actually got a copyright infringement because apparently I quoted or I used a song known as Double Taps. Come on, this is Double Taps associated with what they call that? Zombie killing. But no, apparently this song's Double Taps is copyrighted, while the original Taps is not. That's what I just played in memory of Chuck Yeager, but we'll get into that in a second. And in memory of SN8. We'll get into that in a second. What a fucking disappointment. Today is Space. I am Manny. This is UFO Buster Radio News. So we're going to talk about some things that are in the news right now happening with space because they are freaking nuts. They really are. We're seeing some things being done by nations across the world regarding space that are freaking shocking, to be honest. Stuff you just wouldn't think about, and they're freaking doing it. And we had an epic fail today. Sadly enough. It was just terrible. Well, like I said, we'll get into it later on. Can you tell I was affected by it? I was. I really was. Terribly. The biggest way. Apart from that, we will talk about these articles. We'll go through them. They're pretty short, actually, because they're mainly updates from what we've seen in the previous weeks. So nothing too earth-shattering. But what can you do? That's just the way it goes. Bugs is here. He's in the background. He's in a deep sleep for some reason. And it's a little quieter. Like when he's got a light sleep, the snoring is unforgivable. But right now he's in a deep sleep. He might get up all of a sudden and start farting around. So get ready for that. Get your ears perked up for that because it adds to the ambient sound for the room when Bugs is doing that. Before I get into the articles, don't forget to look at the description for this episode and take note of where the Dark Horde and the Tempest universe are going to be starting 2021. Of course, the Dark Horde already started. Talked about how crazy that was. And go there and just hit the follow if you want to keep up with this madness that's going on right now. Or you can replay UFO Buster Radio episodes, all almost 550, right from the fucking beginning all over again, and have deja vu. Or get the fresh shit by clicking on those damn links. Last bit of news before we start, a little quick thing. Apparently, we talked about last week how the Pentagon report was under threat of Trump not signing the bill that would, secure a budget for certain things. One of them being that UAP report from the Pentagon. Somebody snuck it in there, came between the lines, redacted like 50 pages down. And apparently it's going to make it through. Even they were able to kind of beat El Trumpy to the punch. So it looks like he's not going to be able to veto the bill anyway. So one more obstacle out of the way. We've got the leaks that we talked about yesterday. The bill is going through. There should be no damn reason for them to screw with us. They should just go ahead and give us the damn info. Is it going to be earth-shattering? For some people, I think it will, if they actually get the information out. But I think they'll just leave us with more fucking questions. At the end of the day, that's the way it's going to go. But we can hope for the best. Something is better than nothing. Let's be honest about that. Especially when it's coming out of the people that have all the information, are controlling everything. A little morsel here and there is perfect. Let's go ahead and get started on this trip down sad lane. I saw a documentary this afternoon. I was so depressed about SN8. I started watching people getting probed. It's about an abduction thing, not like I go to any of those sites. I was actually watching a documentary about people getting abducted, and they made a point in there, which we've kind of alluded to over the last few months, and that is that people really aren't getting abducted anymore. There's not that many stories about that. It's kind of died off. So it's like kind of like a Wall Street report. Abductions are down, but sightings are up. That type of thing. Maybe it's because people aren't outside anymore, so you can't abduct them if they're not walking around lost in the woods or down the dark roads in the middle of the night, hungover or just plain ass drunk. So it was an interesting, what you call that? I don't know. It didn't even seem like a real documentary, but they had real people in it, so we'll just go with that. But it was a fascinating documentary because there are so many stories. There's quite a few in there I never heard about. But there was one guy in particular that his story was kind of fascinating to me. So I got to look a little bit more into that. But, it kind of begs to answer. It's a question we need to answer is, why is it that these are down? And it came to me just thinking about it that if the stories from like Professor Chaim out in Israel are correct, and there was a deal back in the 60s to take people and probe them and prod them and take their eggs and sperm, I figure that, after about 40 years, you're fucking tired of probing humans. You've got everything you need, right? So why would you continue? So eventually it would have to taper off because you've got all the information you need basically to clone or to study the hairless apes, if you will. So why would it continue at the rate that it was going with all these things happening to folks at random, all these abductions? So like I said, my thought is things, they were done. Now they just want to find out other things or just screw with us by flying in eggs. That's all I'm saying. That's just the way it is. But food for thought. But I'm going to research that one guy because his story is fascinating. I think you guys enjoy an episode just about that dude, to be honest. So if you weren't aware of this yet, so if you're in another country and you don't have TV because you're waiting for Starlink to hit you up with a trial, guess what? SN8 again did not take off. The logo for this particular episode is the SN8 as it was right there. Look at the little picture. Zoom in on that shit. Pull that mobile phone or tablet real close to your face and look at that logo, and you see that there is 1 second left on the damn clock. Yeah. They took it down to the wire today. It was your window for launch was from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. They took all the fuckers in Boca Chica village who stayed behind that didn't want to sell, and they told them, y'all got to get the hell out of here because we're shooting off a big-ass rocket today, 7 stories tall. And the dude who put it together, he don't even think it's going to make it. So y'all need to leave. Don't come back until after 5 o'clock. So they were down to the wire. They decided, after all the screwing around they did, they were going to launch at 4:30. So we get closer to 4:35. They're late to everything. They're even late to their own fucking launch down in Boca Chica. What the hell is going on? Anyway, so we get to it, and all of a sudden, nothing. We go through the refueling, we go through the venting, we're down to the launch clock, 2 minutes on the clock, buddy, let's go. And the damn thing shuts off. According to SpaceX, it was the Raptor engines that shut the thing down. The Raptor engines, stop fucking around. Really? So you've built a 7-story Tesla car. So the damn Raptor engines shut down the launch, And, I could just imagine, like, one engine is named Larry, then you got Doug on the other side, and the other Raptor engine is Bob. And Bob and Doug, they look at each other like, hey, look, Larry's about to blow. Larry's going to blow up, man. What do we do, Bob? Hey, Doug, sound the alarm. And then the thing shuts off. That's what it's crazy. Like, Elon apparently is building super smart rockets because these engines shut down the whole parade. So the story is, at this point, is that, oh, by the way, if you were watching this live, NASA actually sent a high altitude observation plane that was flying at the 8-mile high target for the SN8 rocket, which is 12.5 kilometers for all of you draconians out there. Everybody was ready. Everybody except for the damn engines was ready for this thing to happen. And so it got auto-aborted. So at this point, out of Boca Chica, out of SpaceX, no one knows what the fuck is going to happen now. They don't know if it's going to be an attempt again tomorrow. They got to talk to Larry, Bob, and Doug first, see if they're going to cooperate. So it could either happen tomorrow, or it could happen Thursday, or we might just have to wait another fucking week. That's just the way it goes. Like, I really thought for sure they want to get this shit done before 2021. But for fuck's sake, the way this thing is going, I just don't know. But, there were a lot of stories coming out of these live feeds of people who had hotel rooms for over a week waiting for this launch to happen because they set up live feeds and all this kind of stuff. And so they're having to stay there so they don't have to fly back home to fly back in to eventually what? For it not to even happen? So people are staying this whole time waiting for this damn rocket, and Larry decided to pull the plug on it. It's just bananas. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what they say tomorrow morning. The road closures are there. So they've already been pre-planned as a backup to today's failed launch. So we'll see. They just need to give that thing some little blue pills. Get that little silver phallus going already. Come on, stop screwing around. This is just sad.
I was on a mission.
It almost did. It really didn't blend into each other. Like I think I should have done that a little bit backwards. I guess NASA's spacecraft spots China's Chang'e lander on the moon. I'm pretty sure I got the pronunciation down right because I was actually watching when the Chang'e spacecraft was taking off. I swear to God, that's the way they were saying it. So I'm going to do it the same. Going to have the same inflection. I'm going to make it authentic. So like, if they pick this up somehow through the communist radio, they'll be like, hey, he's one of us. So Chang'e was spotted by the NASA Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, and it took a picture of it. Here's my question. I don't know how long. By the way, this thing, it's known as the LRO. How long has the LRO been in space? Because, for fuck's sake, the pictures from this thing are absolutely horrific. I mean, we've got pictures of Pluto that are crisp. I mean, so damn good that the damn thing is actually mapped, right? We know where the valleys are, where's the little mountain at, you know, we know what the surface is like. But for the love of God, when you look at a picture of the moon, it always looks like shit. The LRO took a picture of the moon, and it looks like shit. It looks like somebody sent up a flip phone, attached it to the LRO, and that's what they use for pictures. In that picture, there's a few dots. One of those dots is the 4-ton spacecraft that's sitting in the ocean of storms, known to us as the Chang'e, right? A Chang'e 5, actually, just in case you don't get it confused for 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is number 5, like the Mambo. Or is that Mambo number 9? Not really sure. Anyway, so the image shows the Chang'e 5 lander in the center of the 3 craters. And for some reason, we decided to, well, not we, NASA decided to fly over and take a pic of it. It really looks like shit. It's terrible. Now, the funny thing is that we've already, or not we, not speaking for China on this, but China has already, not only did they get into orbit, they dropped the lander. The lander drilled, got the dirt out of the moon. Then the ascending module ascended up, delivered the package to the return module. I mean, there are a fucking bunch of modules here, right? It's in the orbiter now. All the moon gunk that they picked up, hopefully with some life. They picked all that shit up. It's now in the orbiter. And by the end of the week, that orbiter is going to start heading back to our little blue planet to drop COVID-45 on us. It is crazy. The way they are doing these things, but the precision that they're doing it, we don't have anything from NASA that does shit like that. There's nothing. Not a single thing. There's other countries who actually drop whole fucking orbiters on other planets, but nothing as complicated as this. I mean, it's wonderful. I mean, we got Bennu, right? We got that stuff coming back, but for fuck's sake, how long is that going to take? But it's good. I just don't understand why the pictures from the moon always look shitty. Even the pictures from the Chang'e look like crap. And even all the other, things that China dumped on the moon, the pictures are horrible. What the hell is going on with the atmosphere on the moon? Why is it that we can't get good pictures from the moon? This is really strange for me. I'm telling you, go into this space.com article about the Chang'e 5 moonlander, and the top picture is the picture that was taken by the LRO. It's horrific. It is completely nuts. Now, I was talking with someone today, and, I got a theory on this. You guys chime in if you think it's possible, but I think that one of these missions, whether it's Bennu, whether it's Hayabusa, whether it's Chang'e 5, one of these is going to return some form of organic molecule, and maybe, if we're lucky, they'll return some kind of microbial life. I just feel like that's the road we're taking right now. But write that shit down, or come back to, because by the time we find out, we're not even going to be in here for Buster Radio Land anymore. But write that shit down, follow the Tempest universe, and you can have that discussion there. But that's the way I think it's going. So by the end of this week, probably it'll start coming back. Sometime next week, I guess, we'll have Chang'e 5 join us and drop the samples. And hopefully, for Pete's sake, China, please do not let those samples go to Wuhan. That will fuck that shit up. We will have the worst shit-a-gate ever. Like, it'll be at new levels. Like, I'm not even going to want to go see King Kong and Godzilla if they fuck this up over in China. Gotta be honest with you. Thanks, Bugs. So now we go from China to Japan. Japan. As you pretty much know, because a lot of people really didn't give no fucks about this, but a lot of you did. Some of you really followed this, especially if you were in Australia, because the zombie outbreak, the apocalypse, is going to start there. Just in case you didn't know that. I know if you're out in Australia, Dave, sorry to burst your bubble about things in Australia. It's not just COVID anymore. The zombie apocalypse, the epicenter is where the Hayabusa 2 dropped the samples from the asteroid Ryugu. Actually, I think this is the first time I actually said it right. I'd rather they just called it Ryu because we're all used to that, thanks to Street Fighter. But no, it's got to be Ryugu. The capsule containing the junk soil from Ryugu was dropped from 136,700 miles in space by Japan's Hayabusa 2, for you draconians, because I know Dre likes this. That is 220,000 kilometers. And it landed as planned in the Australian outback, and now all the zombies look like they're out of the Evil Dead. True story. Yeah. After a preliminary inspection, they actually, I think actually today it was, when they actually flew the samples back to Japan for research. But they did something really smart, right? So they took the samples and they ran them over to a lab in Australia to examine the gases first. So apparently, Hayabusa 2 took off on December 3rd, 2014. That's when the damn thing took off. And it actually touched down twice on the asteroid Ryugu. About 190 million miles away from Earth. It spent exactly a year and a half hanging around Ryugu before actually, doing the do. So there's two samples from two different parts of Ryugu that were returned by Hayabusa 2. There is a picture. If you go to the link in this article, you can see the picture of this tiny thing. 15-inch in diameter, this little capsule that has all the dirt in it. And it actually has two separate compartments, believe it or not. I mean, how smart is that, right? And what they're going to do, or what they did today, basically is what it's already a done deal, was that they took this over to examine the gas that might be trapped within the soil sample, within the capsule, before they take it off to Japan, because they didn't want to lose it. They want to get it analyzed and extracted, before it just seeps out or whatever. This is all in part due to the what JAXA, or the Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency, calls the capsule a treasure box. So what are they looking for? Some of the things, one of the main things, is organic molecules. They're looking for that evidence. Again, everyone's looking for this. I think that NASA is probably the only group that takes a fucking Toyota and turns it into a rover twice, still looking for ancient life. Makes no fucking sense. But we'll find out what that thing does in February. But if, in the meantime, the Hayabusa 2 did something really incredible, right? Now, you thought that maybe the Chang'e 5 was the shit. Hayabusa 2 threw this thing down on Australia like a puck, right? I'm telling you, man, if there was anything wrong with that capsule, any gas leaked out that could turn, all the koalas into killer zombies, you're pretty much fucked, Australia. It's a done deal. But the Hayabusa 2 dropped off this damn capsule, and it was actually sent to another asteroid. What am I saying? Look at this. Are you kidding me? Look at the innovation. Look at the stuff that they do with their orbitals, with their space probes. Their machinery in space is amazing. That's some serious shit right there. So they took the Hayabusa 2, said drop off the sample here, and you go on to this next asteroid. It is, actually the number is 198 KY, KY, I bet, 26. It's going to take Hayabusa 2 11 years to get there. It is a one-way mission, and the idea is to figure out how to prevent gigantic asteroids from colliding with the planet. I don't know how the fuck this Hayabusa 2 is going to do it. Maybe they're going to reprogram it or whatever. But 11-year journey to get there. Maybe they're going to smash it into the damn thing. Who knows? Not really sure. I don't even know what kind of instruments this thing has. It can't have that many if all it did was, drop this off like a hockey puck and then take off. So it'll be fascinating to see when it gets there in 11 years. We'll probably just forget about the thing anyway because, 11 years from now, shit, hopefully Elon's already on Mars. So he could probably go recover Hayabusa 2 if he needs to. Fascinating and crazy. But like I said, what they're looking for is organic material in the samples, and basically trying to figure out how these things were distributed throughout the solar system and how it may be related to life on Earth. Who fucking knows? I don't even, that's my thing here. It says, why do we keep on looking to the past to figure out how all of this fits with how it got to the planet Earth? Nobody gives two fucks about that. I want to know about life now. Somebody tell me what's going on now. That is what matters. And I do have an announcement to make. According to Dre, the Cowboys lost. But, okay, not surprised.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. 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 You wanna be with me. You wanna feel something real, but I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get to friends, but don't wanna face the fact that I ain't got time, I ain't got time, I ain't got time for that. Staying up late, sleeping all day, dreaming about Cadillacs. Buying new shoes, hanging by the pool, sipping on Coke and Jack. Calling my phone when you feel alone, but I'll never call you back. 'Cause I ain't got time, I ain't got time, I ain't got time for that. I don't give a damn, I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. 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 You're mad at me for not giving you comfort. You say that I'm away so much, and now you don't feel the way you felt when we were younger. But that's okay for me, 'cause I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. 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 I don't give a damn.
What's up to the guys that are in the live chat, by the way? I forgot to mention these guys earlier. Green Man, Game Vet, and Dre are in there live, talking it up, chatting, if you will. The last episode, the last story for today is just basically for those of you in the U.S. who don't know, and some of you in the U.S. who have no clue. Chuck Yeager actually passed away yesterday. The first pilot to break the sound barrier passed away at the age of 97. And yeah, that is just something else. But, it's weird how a lot of people that you've come to know historically who were still alive at one point where you were growing up, and they became kind of heroes, if you will, of things like just flying airplanes, space flight, and all these guys like Chuck Yeager and everybody else, Neil Armstrong. These guys are hitting the age, the big 9-0s, and they're passing away. At 97, listen, if I get to where I live to 97, I've lived a full fucking life, to be honest. Even at 90 or 89, that's a full damn life. After a certain age, shit just goes downhill at a rapid, light speed. Shit goes downhill, breaking more than just the sound barrier once. Probably up 9, 10, 12 times, to be honest. There was a tweet that was shared by Yeager's wife, and this is what it reads. It is with profound sorrow I must tell you that my life-loved General Chuck Yeager passed just before 9 p.m. Eastern. An incredible life, well lived, America's greatest pilot, and a legacy of strength, adventure, and patriotism will be remembered forever. Yeah, amazing. Of course, he became the first person to break the sound barrier on October 14, 1947, while flying in the Bell X-1 rocket plane, 45,000 feet for Draconian's 13,700 meters over Rogers Dry Lake in the Mojave Desert. Really crazy. Right before the podcast, I actually pulled up a video of his flight, and for fuck's sake, Chuck Yeager had a pair of balls, to be honest. Not that he showed it on the video, but he was sitting, basically, he barely fit into the cone of that Bell X-1, and to fly that fast, faster than no one else at the time, it takes a cojones, if you will, of steel, brass and steel. So yeah, it's a crazy little video. If you go to YouTube, just look at just look up Chuck Yeager. I mean, a bunch of people are putting out videos of his flight on the Bell X-1. It was crazy, just crazy to see someone, at that time in history to do something like that. It's just amazing. At that time, he broke the sound barrier by 1.05 times the speed of sound. And the aircraft, believe it or not, was actually named after his first wife, Glennis Yeager. It was called Glamorous Glennis. Dirty dogs. Why would they print something like that? Anyway, right now, the Bell X-1 hangs on display in the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum in Washington. So listen, it is completely crazy. For those of you who are of the age where you saw the movie The Right Stuff, of course, that told you a bit about Yeager and his breaking of the sound barrier. So it is just crazy. It is a crazy thing to witness these things. Even if hell, I wasn't around during that time that he broke the sound barrier, but still, everyone knew about Chuck Yeager. Truly. This is the end of the podcast. Stick around, because today, to end this, I said I was going to play a Christmas song at the end of each episode to the bitter end. This time, I've got a jazzy tune that, well, you'll know the song. Just listen. Ciao.